Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good luck to all of us. Who I respect Mr. Diki Iranto as Supervisor 1, Mistress Siti Fatima Zahra as Supervisor 2. I respect the examining lecturers and all the attendees who have taken the time to attend this seminar. Let me introduce myself. My name is Katama Aulia, a Bachelor of Economics Education student, class of 2021. On this occasion, I will present a research proposal entitled The Influence of Life Expectancy, Unemployment, and Education on Poverty in DKI Jakarta. The topic of discussion in this seminar is divided into three chapters. The first chapter is the introduction, which contains background research, research question, research purpose, and benefits of research. The second chapter is a literature review which contains theoretical basis, relevant research, conceptual framework, and research hypotheses. The third chapter is research methods which contains research methods and analysis techniques. Next, I will start with the background of this research. Economic development is used as a basic indicator for developing countries. Simply, economic development can be understood as an effort or process or undertaking change in a better direction than before for prosperity and greater prosperity. According to Lestari et al. 2023, there are many factors that hinder its economic development, one of which is poverty. A person or group is considered poor if they are unable to make ends meet basic needs, which include housing, food, health service, and education. According to Sparlan, 1984 states that the problem of poverty in urban areas is a latent and complex problem. In urban areas, poverty may not always be as visible in rural areas due to several factors, such as consumer lifestyles, crowds, and more modern city infrastructure. However, behind all that, many people live in poverty, for example, living in slums, working odd jobs, or even being homeless. From the attached graph, it can be seen that the poverty rate for DKI Jakarta province tends to vary from 2012 to 2023. This is the most crucial element. This indirectly explains why poverty alleviation is a challenge, even though the numbers are decreasing. As the capital city of Indonesia, DKI Jakarta faces big challenge in reducing poverty even though it has a relatively high economic level compared to other provinces. Inequality in DKI Jakarta is still quite large, even though the poverty level in Jakarta is relatively low when compared with other provinces. According to BPS, DKI Jakarta will only be left behind by Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta as the province with the highest level of inequality in 2023. Increasing inequality is indicated by a Gini ratio value that is close to 1. Full equality of income, or everyone having the same income, is indicated by a Gini ratio value of 0. Low poverty is not necessarily in line with equal income distribution. Most people still remain poor despite this fact that some socioeconomic groups benefit the most from economic expansion. The Central Statistics Agency reports that poverty is still a big problem in Jakarta due to gaps in access to important services such as employment, education, and health services. The main component of poverty alleviation in human research, life expectancy, is an important indicator of health and well-being. Andriasya et al. 2024. The Central Statistics Agency project in 2023, the average figure life expectancy in DKI Jakarta province is 75.81 years. Although life expectancy is high, life expectancy is usually lower in the regions low income and densely populated compared to areas with stronger economy. there are still differences in life expectancy between regions takes place in Jakarta, a fairly large metropolitan city with a variety of background, socio-economic background. As seen in the image, the region with the highest life expectancy figure in 2023 is Jakarta with numbers 75.12 years, while the region with the lowest life expectancy is Seribu Island with a figure of 69.61 years. Factors such as access to health service, environmental quality, and living standard vary as well contribute to this inequality. According to data from the DKI Jakarta Health Service, hospital and health clinics are mostly located in areas near the city center or in prosperous areas such as South Jakarta. Meanwhile, health facilities are available insufficient to serve densely populated communities in a number of areas low income and densely populated, such as part of North Jakarta and West Jakarta. Access to high-quality health service is hampered by this situation. The table shows that in the Seribu Island, there are only one public hospital with a capacity of 10 emergency beds. This hospital it is said that is still lagging behind in terms of infrastructure, especially medical equipment. Rather, this often results in emergency patients not being treated because of the facilities in the acute hospital. In human capital theory, Scott and Becker explain that education is an investment in human capital that increases an individual's skill, productivity, and ability to obtain work with the higher income. The open unemployment rate in the capital city varies as seen in the graph above. The open unemployment rate decreased from 9.87% to 6.12% in 2012 to 2016. Furthermore, in 2017, the level of open unemployment rose to 7.14%, but continued in 2018 and 2019 decrease. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the high number of people who lost jobs due to layoffs, the open unemployment rate increased, amounting to 10.95% in 2020. Open unemployment rate in DKI Jakarta then fell again in 2021 until 2023, reaching 6.53%. Jakarta is located in the fourth place based on these numbers. Poverty in this country is exacerbated by dependence of low-wage informal workers. A key component in improving living standards and reducing poverty is education. Having access to high-quality education can improve one's personal abilities and open up economic opportunities. The average number of years of schooling is an indicator of national educational attainment. An educational metric known as average years of education shows how many years a person of a certain age has attended formal schooling. Based on this graph, the average length of schooling in province Jakarta. This trend is in line with increasing education budget allocation and a number of government initiatives such as the Jakarta Smart Card or KJP, which aim to increase access to education. In 2022, the average length of study in DKI Jakarta will be over 10 years, meaning the most of people have completed school education middle, according to the Central Bureau of Statistics. This research is the result of various previous studies. The author's interest in researching the influence of life expectancy, unemployment, and education against poverty in DKI Jakarta province. Start from previously available information and data. Next is the research question. The researcher considered and developed the following research questions based on the research background provided previously. First, is there an influence of life expectancy on poverty in DKI Jakarta in 2012 until 2023? Second, is there an influence of unemployment on poverty in DKI Jakarta in 2012 until 2023? Third, is there an influence of education on poverty in DKI Jakarta in 2012 until 2023? Next are the aims and benefits of this research. The purpose of writing this thesis as stated in the problem formulation in the previous section is knowing the influence of life expectancy on poverty in DKI Jakarta in 2012 until 2023, knowing the effect of unemployment on poverty in DKI Jakarta in 2012 until 2023, knowing the influence of education on poverty in DKI Jakarta in 2012 until 2023. The benefits of this research can be separated into two categories, namely theoretical and practical benefit, which are explained as follows. Theoretical benefit is add references and find out gaps, and practical benefits is provides information, policy consideration, and insight. There are four basic theories in this research, namely poverty, life expectancy, unemployment, and education. The first is poverty. Ahmad 2009 defines poverty as a condition where a person or group is unable to fulfill basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, education, and health, either due to economic factors or limited access to available resources. Ahmad 2009 also emphasized that poverty is not only a matter of lack of income, but also includes other aspects such as the first, limited access to basic social services such as education and health. Second, inability to participate fully in social life due to limited resources or social exclusion. Third, vulnerability to economic risks such as job loss or increases in prices of basic necessities. Second is life expectancy rate. Todaro and Smith 2015, life expectancy is the average number of years a person is expected to live from birth, assuming that current death rate patterns apply throughout their life. Life expectancy rate is a statistical measure that shows how long a person can live on average from birth, based on the level of death or mortality in society at the current time. This figure is calculated using mortality data at the time without taking into account future change, such as improvement in medical technology or improvement in health service. Third is unemployment. Sukirno 2000 defines unemployment as a situation where a person is of productive working age and has entered the workforce but is unable to obtain a job or obtain work that can fulfill his or her fundamental needs. This definition highlights two types of unemployment. First, open unemployment, namely those who do not have a job at all, even though they are actively looking for it. Second, hidden unemployment or underemployment, namely those who have jobs but do not match their economic needs or abilities. For example, someone whose living standard is also considered part of the unemployment. Third is education or average years of schooling. BPS defines average year of schooling as a number that shows how long individuals of certain age have attended formal school. This indicator is used to provide an overview of the level of educational participation in a region. For example, if the average length of schooling in area is 8 years, this indicates that the majority of the population in that area has on average completed education of up to junior high school level. On the other hand, if this figure is lower, for example 6 years, it reflects that the majority of population has only completed education up to elementary school level. The main theory in this research is Nour's 1971 vicious circle theory. Nour's vicious circle theory of poverty 1971 states that poverty occurs because market conditions are imperfect, limited capital, and human resources. This suggests that a number of cyclical factors interact and respond to maintain income poverty in developing countries. Due to low productivity, the country become poor and ultimately unable to meet their food needs. According to Nour, poverty often persists because it exists vicious circles that support each other. First, lack of access to health, nutrition, and education quality due to low income. Second, poor health and low level of education leading to limited job options and low levels of employment productivity, which in turn reduce income. Third, unstable work or poverty because the family does not enable to meet their basic needs due to their absence fixed income. Next is the supporting theory. First, human capital theory. School 1960 and Becker 1964 have put forward the theory of human capital, which states that spending money on education and health increase individual productivity. This theory argues that of society with higher life expectancy tend to have more opportunities to develop skills, work longer hours, and generate greater income. This condition reduces poverty due to labor productivity increase. Second is Keynesian economic theory. Keynes 1936 theoretical with view states that aggregate demand is the cause of the problem of unemployment, so it is not low production but low consumption that causes economic growth to be hampered. According to Keynes, public consumption plays an important role in maintaining the stability of aggregate demand. If household consumption decreases, for example due to low income or people's tendency to save more, the demand for the goods and services also decreases. This decline has a direct impact on overall economic activity, including production and job creation. In other words, unemployment occurs not because people are unable to produce goods, but because the goods produced do not have enough buyers. Third is endogenous growth theory. Endogenous economic growth is an economic model that optimizes a country's internal potential. This model prioritizes human resources with the strength of knowledge, natural resources, technological assets, and institutions. In this model, a country's internal potential is considered as the main strength that can be optimized to achieve sustainable development. One important aspect of this theory is human resource. Quality human resource with high knowledge and skill are considered a key factors that can increase productivity and innovation. The following is previous research that was used as a reference on this research. First, Arfa Valiant Kevin, Ardito Binadi, Ahmad Syariuddin, 2022. The influence of GRDP, life expectancy, and average years of schooling on poverty in district or cities of Central Java Province, 2013 until 2021. GRDP has a negative and insignificant effects on poverty. Meanwhile, life expectancy and average length of schooling have a negative and significant influence on poverty. Second, Current VF Supit, Yosef Bikalangi, Stiva YL Tumangkeng, 2023. The influence of economic growth, Human Development Index or HDI, and unemployment on poverty in Minahasa Regency. Economic growth and HDI have a negative and insignificant effect on poverty in Minahasa Regency. Meanwhile, unemployment has a positive and significant effect on poverty in Minahasa Regency. Third is Hasdia B. Chamiard and Cici Ratnasari 2023. Effects of education and health and unemployment against poverty in Bangka Belitung Island. Effects of education and health and unemployment against poverty in Bangka Belitung Island. Education has a significant negative influence on poverty. Health has an insignificant positive influence against poverty. Unemployment has an insignificant effect on poverty. Education has a significant negative influence on poverty. Health has an insignificant positive influence against poverty. Unemployment has an insignificant effect on poverty. Next is conceptual framework. The following is the conceptual framework in this research where life expectancy is variable x1, unemployment is variable x2, and education or average years of schooling is x3, and poverty is variable y. This hypothesis in this research is H1, there is a negative and significant influence between life expectancy on poverty in DKI Jakarta. H2, there is a positive and significant influence between the open unemployment rate and poverty in DKI Jakarta. H3, there is a negative and significant influence between education and poverty in DKI Jakarta. Next is analysis units, population, and sample. The unit of analysis in this research is poverty as the dependent variable, life expectancy, unemployment, and education as independent variables. The population in this study is the administrative area of DKI Jakarta. The sample in this research is 5 administrative cities and 1 district in DKI Jakarta that have data on poverty, life expectancy, unemployment, and education for 2012 until 2023. Next is data collection technique. The data used in this research is secondary data originating from the DKI Jakarta Central Statistic Agency. The data used in this research is secondary data of the panel data type, namely data that combines cross-section data, namely 5 administrative cities and 1 district in DKI Jakarta province, and a time series, namely from 2012 until 2023. Next slide is variable operationalization. First is poverty. Poverty in this study is measured by the percentage of the poor population based on basic needs determined by the Central Statistic Agency in each district or city in DKI Jakarta province during the 2012 until 2023 period in percent units. Second is life expectancy. The indicator that can be used to measure life expectancy is the life expectancy figure published by the Central Statistic Agency in years. Third is unemployment. In this research, researchers used data on the open unemployment rate for DKI Jakarta province from the Central Statistic Agency. Fourth is education or average years of schooling. The indicator used to measure education in this research is the average length of schooling published by the DKI Jakarta Central Statistic Agency in years. Next slide is analysis techniques, panel data regression. The analysis technique used in this research is multiple linear regression. There are 4 stages, namely the first is the estimation model. The estimation model consists of the common effect model, fixed effect model, and random effect model. First is the common effect model. Common effect model assumes that there are no difference between individuals and between times in panel data. All observed variables are considered to have the same characteristic, so this model ignores individual or time effects. Second is fixed effect model. Fixed effect model assumes that each individual has unique characteristics that do not change over time or time invariant. These specific effects are included in the model via dummy variable for each individual or time. Third is random effect model. Random effect model assumes that difference in characteristics between individual or time are random and do not correlate with the independent variable. Specific effects are modeled as part of the error component. Second is estimation methods. Model selection in panel data analysis is carried out through various tests to determine the most appropriate model. Three tests that are often used are the Chow test, Hausman test, and Lagrange multiplier test. First is the Chow test. Chow test aims to compare the common effect model with the fixed effect model to find out whether the fixed effect is significant or not. The Hausman test aims to compare the fixed effect model with the random effect model to determine whether the random effect model is correlated with the independent variable. Third is Lagrange multiplier test. Lagrange multiplier test aims to compare the common effect model with the random effect model to find out whether the random effect model is significant or not. Third step is classical assumption test. The following are various types of classical assumption tests. First, there is a normality test. The normality test aims to ensure that the residual or prediction error has a normal distribution. This assumption is important for statistical tests such as t-test and f-test, so that the results are valid. Second is multicollinearity test. The multicollinearity test aims to ensure that there is no perfect or very strong linear relationship between the independent variables. Multicollinearity can cause regression coefficient to be unstable and difficult to interpret. Third is heteroscedasticity test. The heteroscedasticity test aims to ensure that the residual variance is constant or homoscedasticity. If the residual variance is not constant or heteroscedasticity, then the estimation result will be inefficient. Fourth is linearity test. Linearity test, the aim of the linearity test is to ensure that the relationship between the independent and dependent variables is linear, according to the assumption of the linear regression model. Fourth step is hypothesis testing. There are three stages of hypothesis testing, namely, the first is the f-test. The f-test is a statistical test used to test whether the overall regression model is significant or not. This means that the f-test is used to determine whether the independent variables generally influence the dependent variable. Second, there is the t-test. The t-test is a statistical test used to test the significance of each independent variable on the dependent variable individually. The third is the coefficient determination. The coefficient of determination is a statistical measure that shows how much the independent variable explains the variation in the dependent variable in the regression model. That's enough of my presentation. Please forgive me more or less. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.